Hey guys! Today I'm gonna finally talk about my wardrobe plan for this year and a little bit about what I learned from last year, because I always like to assess what happened last year, what worked, what didn't work, what lessons can I learn, so that as I move forward into this year I can have like a nice solid wardrobe that doesn't let me down, which is what we all want, I think. But before I start, did you guys see this latte art that I made on here? I've been really struggling with that for the past few years, but I think I finally cracked it and it's beautiful and it tastes delicious. Latte mustache. So I'm gonna be breaking down 6 goals that I kind of made for myself for this year, but before I get into those, I'm gonna talk about just what I learned from last year. So if you guys have been around on my channel for a while, then you know that I really focused a lot on like building good quality home clothes that I could wear at home, and I think I finally just have a really nice solid home wardrobe. And when I say home wardrobe, I mean clothes that I can wear at home and still feel put together, and then also just wear them out. So that worked really well for me last year. I found that I felt like really happy with what I was wearing at home. It was really easy to leave the house if I needed to, so that was like a solid A+. And then what also worked really well is that I feel like I really have my basics down in my wardrobe, and whenever I had to get dressed, it didn't really take me that long. I never felt like I had nothing to wear, because I would go into my closet and everything just kind of went together, so it was really easy to build outfits. That's something that I really struggled with before I was rebuilding my wardrobe. You know, I had like just random colors, random styles, and nothing really went together. So I can honestly say that my wardrobe is like doing really well in that arena. So yeah, I'm gonna give myself an A+ on basics as well. And lastly, I was really appreciating the color palette that I put together over the years. When I started rebuilding my wardrobe, I did a lot of like neutrals, and then slowly started adding colors that I like, and now I have a good handful of like green colors in my wardrobe that I really enjoy, and also a little bit of like pink. Yeah, those are like working really good together, and it just gives me like a nice calming feel when I look at my wardrobe and when I wear those colors. So I think I'm on the right track there as well. I'm honestly really enjoying filming this video because it feels like we're just like sitting in a coffee shop and chatting about our wardrobe, and I love that. So I hope that you guys are getting that across the screen. And maybe you're drinking a cup of coffee as well. Write me an emoji if you're drinking a cup of coffee or tea. Write it down in the comments, and then I'll know that we're hanging out together. Now on to what didn't work for me last year when it comes to my wardrobe. And there wasn't a lot, honestly, but there was a couple little things. So the first one is that I noticed that a lot of my items were starting to wear out, or that I realized I needed to replace them because, you know, maybe they were like bothering me or hurting me as I was wearing them. One of those was a pair of nude sandals that I had, and when I wore them, they were so painful, so I realized that I need to update those. And then sadly, my swimsuit has really started to fall apart and get like really just saggy everywhere, so I realized that I'm gonna need to update that this year as well. So mostly what I'm noticing is that from wearing my wardrobe for many years, I am starting to notice things wearing out and falling apart, which is totally normal, and that actually it's a little bit bittersweet. It makes me sad because I'm like, oh, I really like this, but then also I'm like, oh, I actually wore this for a long time and it got its like wears in, so it was a good workhorse in my wardrobe. And so I had one last realization about what I didn't like last year, and that was that while I had all these nice clothes that were easy to put together into beautiful outfits, I still found myself like wearing my husband's sweaters all the time around the house. So I have 4 kids and I have to take them to school early in the morning, and I find that I would just like throw on a robe, drive them to school, and then not really want to put in the time to get dressed. So I would just like wear my joggers, put on like my husband's sweater, and get on with my day. And I really didn't like that after a while. You know, started to kind of wear me down, make me feel like kind of like a slob. So yeah, I think this year I really want to focus on like getting dressed. You know, it really doesn't take a lot of effort just like to put on a nice outfit, and that's one thing I'm going to try to change this year. Okay, so the last thing that I like to reflect on always at the end of a season or a year is what was I missing? Like sometimes throughout the year you'll be like, oh, I really wish I had this or that, and then the season is over and then it comes around again and you completely forgot, like, what did I miss? What do I need to buy? So one item that I was really missing last year was a pair of like casual sneakers, because I have a lot of like nicer shoes, and while I really love them, I noticed sometimes I would want like a more casual outfit with a casual shoe, and I just didn't have that. And I did try a pair of white sneakers last year that ended up not working out, and I resold them because they were just a little bit too like bulky looking on my foot. So this year, what I really want to add is a sneaker that's like a little bit sporty, a little bit like funky looking. I want to lean into that like Gen Z vibe, you know, but still like neutral enough to work with most of the clothes I already have. And one other item that I really noticed missing is another casual sweatshirt. So I did buy this like white graphic sweatshirt last year and I loved it and I wore it a lot. But again, I really noticed myself wearing like my husband's oversized sweatshirts around the house. And so that's really showing me that I could use like another sweatshirt or two that I could wear at home, because I do have a lot of like nice knit sweaters and I do wear them at home, but sometimes I just want like a nice casual look. Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy one more sweatshirt, and I do already have one in mind, and I'll talk about it a little bit later when I share my wish list for the year. You guys probably don't care about this, but the sun is like coming in and out throughout the window and messing up my lighting. It is stressing me out, but I'm sure that's something you guys don't care about. So let's move on. Okay, let's talk about my goals for the year. They're pretty short and sweet, but the first one is to only buy clothes that I love 100% and that I can see lasting for many years. So when I was focusing on rebuilding my home clothes last year, I thrifted a lot, and I didn't really care that much if I was buying something that was like a little bit worn out already, because I was buying it for around the house and I was gonna probably get it dirty anyway. So, you know, that didn't bother me too much, but I did notice that I bought a couple items that kind of were worn out already to begin with, and now they look a little bit more worn out. And it still doesn't bother me that much, but I think for this year, if I'm gonna be buying something secondhand, I really want to make sure that it's like looking really nice and clean, and like the fabric isn't already wearing down or fraying. And I just want to focus on clothes that I can see lasting me, you know, 2-3 years. So yeah, that's something I'm excited about, because again, I have like nice solid home clothes collection, and now I feel like I'm kind of upgrading and thinking more about like statement items that I'm excited about and that I can see myself wearing for many, many years. So my next goal is to add a little bit of like a sporty, funky vibe to my wardrobe. So I have a really great base of like casual, basic items, kind of timeless items that will really last me many years and not be outdated. And last year I was having a lot of fun adding like a more workwear vibe to my wardrobe in the fall. And I really loved that I had like this basic wardrobe, and then if I wanted to feel more rugged, I would, you know, wear those workwear inspired items. So this year I just want to sprinkle in a little bit more sporty items, which is a vibe that I don't usually go for, but I'm looking for like a sneaker that's really funky, and then maybe even like a baseball cap. So just like really tiny items that are not gonna like, you know, turn my whole wardrobe into something it's not, but it can just infuse a little bit of like a different flavor in there, which I'm excited about. So goal number 3 is to lean into the oversized or slightly unflattering silhouette. So for me, for my style, it's really important to be comfortable and like casual. And I've been seeing a lot of outfits that are very like Gen Z inspired, where things are more oversized, like looking flattering is not as important, and I really love that actually. I usually don't like to follow any trends, but this is one that I'm seeing that I can appreciate, because yeah, I just really love to wear silhouettes already where like it's not showing my figure that much. It's more like natural, flowy, you know. So I'm not actually planning on buying any new items to recreate any of these looks, but what I think I'm gonna explore is using what I already have and just like wearing it in different ways, styling it in different outfits that are kind of maybe more oversized, more just casual and relaxed, and see how that makes me feel. Okay, so my next goal I'm really excited about, and That one is to finally sew more clothes. I feel like I had really good intentions to sew more right in the beginning of 2020, but the pandemic got us and it was just a really stressful time, so I didn't really sew that much. I wasn't feeling very inspired, but right now at the beginning of this year I am inspired, and I do actually have like a pretty long list of clothes that I would love to sew, and I even have some fabric already that I bought a couple years ago. So yeah, I'm really excited to start sewing more and just add some more clothing to my wardrobe that is made by me. In terms of what I want to sew, there's kind of a big list, but if I get around to even like 2 or 3 items, I'm gonna be really happy. But I want to sew like a crop top, a jumpsuit, a couple different pants, maybe a dress. Yeah, I will hopefully document this, and let me know if you guys would like to see a video of me like sewing something from start to finish, or just like a vlog where I sew a little bit throughout and share the finished product. If you guys want to see that, leave me a sewing emoji. I actually don't know if there's a sewing emoji, but maybe some scissors. Also, my throat is really sore right now, so I'm gonna drink some more coffee. Okay, so another goal I have for myself this year, which isn't really clothing related, but it's to take better care of my complexion and focus more on skincare. Even though this is not about my wardrobe, I feel like obviously how we look has a lot to do with how we feel in our clothes. You know, if we feel like our skin is looking good, like we have our hair done nice, you know, we're gonna feel more confident regardless of what we're wearing. So that's definitely something I want to pay attention to this year. And I really noticed in the past couple years I've been hit with like adult acne, which I didn't really struggle with in my 20s at all, but probably like related to pandemic stress over the last 2 years. But I've had like a lot of breakouts and it's made me feel very uncomfortable. So I've been already trying to take care of my skin a little bit better the last few months. I'm just doing like really basic relaxed skincare, which is just my usual vibe. But I did go and get a facial last week, which felt really great. And I did dermaplaning, where they kind of like shave your dead skin and your hair, which was really kind of fun to do, very relaxing, and it was my first facial in like 10 years. So maybe that can be something that I do once or twice a year just to kind of refresh my skin. But if you guys are interested in seeing any of my skincare or makeup, let me know, and I can also include that in like a vlog or something. Again, I'm very basic, I don't do a whole lot, but happy to share if you're interested. Okay, so finally my last goal is to try to buy only 12 items for the year. I've finally committed to this now that I kind of wrote my wish list, and I realized that there's not a lot that I need, so I think this is very doable. And so far on my wish list, I wrote down like 8 items, and then I'm leaving the rest kind of blank to come up with throughout the year. So the first thing on my wish list is again like a sporty, funky sneaker. I do want it to look like a little bit unique with a statement, but I still want it to be neutral enough that I could wear it with all my other clothes. And then I've also really been thinking to add a pair of black Converse to my wardrobe. I really love how they look in outfits, but I know that they're gonna be a little bit annoying to like put on and off with my kids around especially, so I might save those for like outings where I don't have to take my shoes off. Another item on my wish list is a sweatshirt, and I'm thinking to get one that says Dunder Mifflin on it because I love The Office, and my sister has a sweatshirt like that and I think it looks super cool and I want to be part of the club. So I've been looking at a couple on Etsy that I might buy, and yeah, I just really love graphic sweatshirts, and I think it'll be great to wear around the house or for going out. Then I do have a couple of like more fancy items on my wish list that I didn't end up buying last year. If you guys remember, I was trying to update my like special occasion capsule. So one is a new pair of cream sandals, and I really want them to look like very minimal and dainty, so I'm still on the lookout for those. I didn't find anything last year that I liked. And I'm also looking to replace a couple items this year. So one is a new pair of black mules, because I am going to be reselling my black ones that I have, and I'm going to be trying to buy these woven mules from Nisolo. I am thinking to replace my striped t-shirt that I have. I've had this one for so long from H&M, over 5 years, and it's been getting pretty worn out. So yeah, I'm gonna probably find a new striped t-shirt this year that I can add to my wardrobe. So hopefully I can stick to these goals. They're all very like realistic and practical, and very much in tune with how I usually shop and live my life, which is great. But I am gonna give myself grace, of course, and a little bit of wiggle room because I'm sure things will not go according to plan. So far I've planned out about 8 purchases, so I do have a couple spots empty for whatever I may want to buy throughout the year or any like gifted items that I receive from brands. But overall, I really want to stick to that 12 item number. We'll see how it goes. And I did give myself a nice solid start this year by not shopping in January at all. And I did that on accident without even trying. But if you haven't seen that video where I share about that experience, you can watch it right here. And thanks guys. I'll see you next time.